So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's newspaper or news events through MCQs. All right. So today we are going to cover 29th July 2024's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now make this lecture series a part of your daily routine because 4 to 5 MCQs daily from current affairs would amount to more than 100 MCQs in a month. So that month's current affairs would get covered comprehensively if you follow this lecture series regularly. Plus, if you continue with this lecture series for 1 year, well, you would have covered 1200 MCQs, minimum 1200 MCQs from current affairs itself. So before your next year's prelims, you would have practiced 1200 MCQs from only current affairs. And ask any serious aspirant, they would tell you that 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone are more than sufficient. All right, you wouldn't have to worry about current affairs portion of your prelims examination. All right, and I don't need to tell you this, but current affairs are very important for both prelims as well as mains. All right, now we have that out of the way. Let's start with question number 1. Okay, consider the following statements regarding right to be forgotten. It is the right to remove one's digital footprint when right to privacy is violated. It is a legal right in European Union and goes by the name of right to erasure. In India, right to be forgotten is a fundamental right after the Puttaswamy case. How many of the above statements are correct? So look, basically, right to be forgotten is that if your name is on the Google or any of the search websites of Google, well, you can ask Google to take down your name for your privacy. Now, when your name on the Google search history or on Google or any of the internet websites invades your right to privacy, you have the right to be forgotten from the internet. Okay. Now, recently what happened was, why this was in news, because there was this person who was accused of rape and murder in 2014, but he was acquitted. He was found innocent. But his name got stuck with that case. All right. And now he was applying for Australia's citizenship. And when Australian people Googled him, they found his name associated with that case. Though he was found innocent, but still his name was associated with that case. Hence, he was denied Australia's citizenship. So that person has said that I have the right to be forgotten from the internet because it is hampering my life. Okay, it is hampering my right to privacy. So this is right to be forgotten. So this statement is correct. Now, European Union legally guarantees this right to be forgotten. In fact, in European Union, this right goes by another name called right to erasure. And Article 17 of General Data Protection Rules, GDPR, it is a law of European Union. Article 17 of that allows right to erasure for any European citizen. So this is also correct. Now, in India, right to be forgotten is a fundamental right after Puttaswamy case. Now, look, Puttaswamy judgment of the Supreme Court came in 2017, and it declared right to privacy as a fundamental right. But till now, Supreme Court has not said that right to be forgotten is a part of right to privacy, and therefore there has been no ruling yet that right to be forgotten is a fundamental right. The Supreme Court is going to decide on it now. But as of now, right to be forgotten is not a fundamental right. In fact, there is no legal provision. There is no law for right to be forgotten in India. So this is false. Only 2 statements are correct. All right. Question number 2. Which of the following statements regarding Nipun Bharat mission are correct? It was launched to implement one of the recommendations of New Education Policy 2020 regarding foundational literacy. It is implemented by Department of Higher Education. Nishtha initiative made by NCERT shall aid in implementation of this mission. Look, New Education Policy 2020 gave one recommendation. That recommendation was regarding foundational literacy. Now, what is foundational literacy? Foundational literacy means that you can write and read basic sentences. And foundational numeracy. Foundational numeracy means that you can do addition and subtraction of basic numbers. Okay. Now, a survey found out that in India, students till grade 3, third standard, do not have these skills. They cannot read or write basic sentences like I have a dog, basic sentences, okay, and basic calculations. So, Government of India decided under New Education Policy that till grade 3, all students in India should be given foundational literacy and numeracy. So, this involves children from the age of 3 to 9. They would be given foundational literacy, and for that, Nipun Bharat mission was launched. Okay. Now, this Nipun Bharat mission also involves a teacher training program in which teachers will be trained on how to impart this literacy and numeracy to these small children. Okay. Now, to train teachers, NCERT launched Nishtha initiative. It is a capacity building program for teachers. It will train teachers for this. So, this is also correct. Now, this initiative was launched by Ministry of Education and it is being implemented by Department of School Education, not Higher Education. Higher Education Department actually deals with colleges and universities, which is not suitable for children from in the age group of 3 to 9. Okay, so Department of School Education and Literacy. All right, so this is false. Which of the above is are correct? 1 and 3 are correct. All right, question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding MG Naregs, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Okay, it is a statutory work guarantee program in rural areas implemented by Ministry of Labour. Okay, there is a provision of unemployment allowance to rural adults who do not get employment after 15 days of request for work. It is the responsibility of state government to bear 50% of this cost of the 50% cost of the scheme. Okay, which of the above statements is are correct? Now, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme came about. Actually, it came about through an act of parliament known as MG Narega Act or MG Narega. Okay. Now, under this scheme is a rural employment scheme, not urban, rural employment. Under this scheme, if there is a person in rural India who is unemployed, then he or she shall be guaranteed 100 days of employment in 1 year. Okay. 100 days of employment, and he'll be working on government projects, unskilled labor projects of government, like repairing a dam or something like that. Okay, unskilled labor projects, and he'll be employed in that unskilled labor projects. Okay, but 100 days of guaranteed employment will be given to that rural household at statutory minimum wage or legal minimum wage. This is MG Narega. Okay, so it is a statutory because it came about through an act of parliament. Work guarantee program in rural areas, absolutely correct. Implemented by Ministry of Labour? No, it is not implemented by Ministry of Labour. It is implemented by Ministry of Rural Development. So because of this line, this statement is false. Now, if you don't have work and if you are a rural person of a rural household and you request the government to give you 100 days of employment and government is unable to give you that within 15 days, then government has to give you some money. That is known as unemployment allowance. Okay, so this is correct. Plus one more thing. For gender participation in labor force, 1/3 of beneficiaries of this scheme shall be women. Okay. Now, what is the funding mechanism for this scheme? Okay. Now, who is responsible? I mean, who funds this? So it is the responsibility of central government to provide money for this. Okay. For all the money, all the wages provided to these people is provided by the central government to state government, and state government disperses it. Okay, 75% of the project cost. For example, if you want to repair a canal and it requires some material, then 75% of that cost will be borne by central government, 25% by state government, but all the wages shall be provided by central government. Okay, so mostly central government is responsible for paying this scheme. So this is also false. Which of the above statements are not correct? This word is important, not correct. So 1 and 3 are not correct. So answer would be C. And last, consider the following statements regarding Great Nicobar Island project. It is an infrastructure project in the Great Nicobar Islands. It is a mega infrastructure project worth around 72,000 crore rupees. It is implemented by Andaman and Nicobar Islands Integrated Development Corporation. Now both these statements are correct. Look, it is a mega infrastructure project in Great Nicobar Islands, and government is doing that to improve its presence in the Indian Ocean because China is improving its presence. So India wants to improve its presence in the Indian Ocean, and it has chosen Great Nicobar Island for that. We are developing an airport, we are developing a transshipment seaport, we are developing a power plant, a township. Okay, the project cost is 72,000 crore, and it is implemented by this organization, ANIDCO. And this was in the news because this project is a bit controversial because people are saying that it hasn't got the required environmental clearances. It is disturbing the ecology of that island. But still, government is going ahead with this project. Both the statements are correct. The answer to this question would be C. And with that, we come to an end of this lecture. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it is adding value to your preparation. I'm sure of it. Because if you're consistent and regular with this lecture series, it will definitely add value. Okay? On that note, I'll be signing off. If you want to have the notes for this lecture, questions and their detailed solutions, well, join our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel would be provided in the comment section below. So join it. You'll find the detailed notes for this lecture and every other lecture that we have posted on our channel. Okay. Thank you, everyone.